Coming up on SUTV News, we'll talk about SUU registration.
And we'll let you know about casino night, so stay tuned. Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Hunter Hatch.
And I'm Thomas Dianella. SU's annual casino night was hosted on Saturday night by the Student Programming Board with a unique theme. I was there for a full review. This year's casino night featured the usual table games, mocktails, bingo, and formal attire, but the theme this year took SU students to Tatooine, Jabba's Palace, and more from the historic film series Star Wars. Many students steered into the theme with multiple students dressing in cosplay, including Nathan Bracken.
Star Wars themed on the Jedi costume, decided to put it to use.
Aside from the theme, the night included blackjack, Texas Hold'em poker, roulette, and the atmosphere that could only be found in casinos. Common Sense casino parties provide the tables for the event, while student workers work the tables and behind the scenes to complete the atmosphere.
I love it. It's been super fun just to be able to work and see all the people and interact with them. Because I feel like when you're down there, just walking around, it's really get to know everybody. It's good.
Students were playing for prizes including a TV, record player, and other Star Wars-inspired prizes after turning their chips in for raffle tickets. Casino night has always been a student favorite event, and 2022's lived up to expectations. For SUTV News, I'm Thomas Dianella.
Registration is right around the corner. Our reporter Caitlin Battenfield covers why it's important to meet with your advisor during this time.
Located in the Student Center, Academic Advising is a place for all students to meet with their advisor. Each student at SUU is assigned an advisor according to their major. Advisors help with degree plans, looking at which classes to take in a semester, finding internships, and can even help you get involved in clubs on campus.
My advisor has helped me during registration by finding the different dates for when my registration actually is, helping me log on to my account and registering for classes, and helping me decide which would benefit me the most in my degree plan going forward.
Students can set up an appointment through Canvas. You can choose to meet with them in person or over Zoom.
Going to your advisor for classes, for school, understanding what you need to register for so that you're on track for graduation is a really important thing. Each year, classes change, so if we've made a grad plan, it's very important to review that information to make sure that no students are missing any requirements, whether it's specific classes, upper division requirements, course credits, and letting them also know about the resources that are available. Talking with students about opportunities that there are on campus that may not be advertised, or whether talking to students about internships, professors. I find that really important, and as well as being a friend, a mentor, to be able to have students be able to come talk to me about whatever they're feeling in life, classes, goals that they want to accomplish so that I can help them accomplish them. Love being able to work with students, being able to help them accomplish the goals that they have set for them, as well as helping them realize that their full potential. Some students don't realize that obviously it's going to take some work and effort.
SU has over 120 clubs. One of them is the Dungeons & Dragons Club. Our reporter Riley Brewster has more.
The Dungeons & Dragons Club, also known as the D&D Club, is one of the largest clubs on campus, coming in at about 200 members. D&D is a tabletop role-playing game that is a mixture of imagination, statistics, and chance by rolling dice. The club has a lot of fun, and it is a place where people can get together in a safe place to play the game. Often it is hard to get a group together, having to find enough players and also somebody who can be the dungeon master, also known as the DM. Having a club on campus has made it easier for many students at SUU and those in the community to find groups to play with, whether they are seasoned players or just starting out. The club is a safe place and enables friendships as well. Many people play because of the friend aspect, or because of the creativity it enables.
Well, what I like about D&D and why I play it is a lot of just the friend aspect. I have really close friends that play it, so I'll play with them all the time, any day.
D&D provides a lot of creativity that you couldn't usually express throughout middle school and throughout all of your education career. and it helps provide that escape and growth of mind.
If you are interested in joining the D&D club, they ask that you join their Discord server. A link is on their T-Bird Connect page. With SUTV, this is Riley Brewster.
Coming up, we'll look at Soda Nerd location on the SU campus.
We'll be right back.
Art is providing unique opportunities for SU students with its new program, Sidekicks. Our SUTV reporter Seth Whitehouse has more.
Southern Utah's Museum of Art held their monthly Sidekicks Assemble event last Tuesday in the Summa classroom. Sidekicks is a free membership for all SU students to earn rewards through the museum while also having the opportunity to create their own artwork at these events.
We, as a museum, are tied to the university. There is a small portion of each student fees that comes to the museum and helps support our operating costs. You guys help keep the lights on, you keep the water running. So the Sidekicks program is kind of our way of letting you guys be members. You've paid your dues, so now you get perks for doing that.
For this event, Sidekick members were encouraged to bring a friend and were given all the necessary supplies to paint along to the masterful work of all-time painting personality, Bob Ross.
There's something about making art together that really bonds people that, not everything else does. So if you just come and hang out for an hour or two with us on these Tuesdays, you come out and you've made 4 new friends, and you didn't necessarily expect that to happen.
With 1 month remaining in the semester, Sidekicks still have a couple more events planned, including a poetry night on April 15th. They are also considering to host events like this during the summer. For more information on the Sidekicks program, visit their homepage on SUU's website. For SUTV News, I'm Seth Whitehouse.
Not a fan of mornings? The Morning Brew is on Thunder 91.1 Mondays through Fridays. The Morning Brew is a student-run morning show with its 3 hosts, Matt, Reggie, and the Kidney. The 3 are on air from 8 to 9 a.m. where they play fun games and have fun conversations about campus happenings as well as pop culture events. The radio is not the only place you can hear these 3. They also have a podcast you can find on Spotify called The Morning Brew. If you're looking for any more information, they also have an Instagram at Morning Brew KSUU.
Soda Nerd is a great dining experience for everyone to enjoy here on campus. Located in the library, Soda Nerd has different varieties of drink combinations to try from. Mix all your favorite drinks into your perfect combination. They also have many varieties of smoothies to try from. You can also have sliders and grilled sandwiches if you're hungry.
I like that it's on campus and that it's a soda shop. That's about it. So this is the 3rd time I'm here, so I can't really say I have a favorite yet. Anything with Dr. Pepper is usually my favorite, though.
What's the best way to get around Cedar City? Do you drive, bike, or walk? Let's take a deeper look into transportation in Cedar City.
Every student knows the pain of SUU's crowded parking lots, even if they don't have a car themselves. While it may be annoying to deal with, many students will find that the experience of buying a car is just as frustrating.
Things that have changed from the last time I bought a car, before this most recent one, was the finances of it, I guess. A little bit different. Having to go through maybe different financial agencies.
Finances are one of the biggest pains for any student. Having to worry about rent, tuition, and groceries makes money management difficult already. But adding car payments and gas, especially with massive gas prices recently, is a whole other worry. For students who already have a car, they may find that they have no use for it, as Cedar City is fairly easy to traverse on foot or bike.
Yeah, so I tried to sell my Ford F-150 tan truck outside like last year, and I wasn't able to. I tell them like there's like some quirks that the truck has and stuff, and they ended up not being willing to pay that much for that because it's a pretty old truck, has lots of miles on it, and so they weren't willing to pay that much for that.
In the end, each student must make the best decision for their situation. For SUTV, I'm Sage Judd.
I was in the library the other day just for a class, and I noticed that there was Soda Nerd over there. I've always wanted to try it, but I just have never gotten around to it.
You definitely should. It's a really good place. I like going to the one on Main Street, the main location, because I don't get anything too special, just a strawberry lemonade. But just the way they make it, it's just perfect. And they're great people. I had a friend who I did a radio show with, and when we were talking about Soda Nerd one day, they brought in some free stuff and just made it so much better.
That's sick. That's awesome.
Anthony, what do we have coming up in weather?
Coming up on SUTV Weather, we'll give you a look at the weekend's forecast. Stay tuned.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text-to-emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie, nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Welcome to SUTV Weather. I'm Anthony Colasino. Behind me is beautiful Monument Valley on the Utah-Arizona border. Beautiful park to go hiking around. This is the Cedar 3-day forecast. Tomorrow, high of 73, low of 41. It's gonna be beautiful this weekend outside. Saturday, also high of 73, low of 47. And then Sunday, we're gonna top it off with a high of 69, low of 50. Around the state of Utah tomorrow, up in northern Utah, up in Hiram, high of 67, low of 38. At Park City, high of 62, low of 32. In Lehigh, high of 71, low of 40. And down in Loa, high of 65, low of 30 for Utah tomorrow. And then around the world in Taipei, Taiwan, right now they're experiencing thunderstorms throughout the day, high of 83, low of 67, a lot of humidity in the air. In Pune, India, high of 99, low of 74 and cloudy. And in Istanbul, Turkey, high of 53, low of 41. With the temperatures warming up around Cedar, outdoor activities are going to be ramping up with hiking, mountain biking, and a lot more.
With spring right around the corner and the temperatures heating up, here are some precautions to take out in the wilderness, but also to be safe and have a great time.
Mainly with the weather warming up, I like to get out and do more mountain biking. That's the big thing. And the funnest trails to me are like on the south side of town. And as things get warmer, that area dries up. So that's my go-to.
Do not panic. When in the wild, do not panic if you come across a wild animal in your path. If you do panic, the animal could misinterpret it as an offensive action and take on defensive stance in self-defense. Most wild animals, big or small, will not attack unless they feel threatened, have young with them, or are injured or sick. If confronted with a wild animal, it would be to your advantage to quietly and slowly backtrack down the path, keep an eye on the animal until you are safely away. The more the distance between the animal, the better. And if it rains here in southern Utah, there's always a threat of flash floods. If you're hiking or mountain biking and it starts raining, always seek higher ground or go back to your car and ride away safely. With SUTV News, I'm Anthony Colasuno.
Now that the weather is much clearer, it's time to hike, and the perfect place to do that is Bryce Canyon National Park. In Bryce Canyon National Park, they have trails that have great distances and cooperative environments. The park focuses on helping those understand the story behind the landscape and getting a great workout in. The employees there are fast-paced and very informal. They offer many trails for those who are beginners and experienced at hiking. If anyone was interested, the website they recommend is nps.gov/BRCA. That is it for SUTV weather. Now let's get you to Ryan with sports.
Coming up on SUTV Sports, we'll take one last look at the NCAA tournaments before the Sweet 16s tip off, and I've got MLB and NFL updates. Stay tuned.
Awkward. Do I look familiar? I should. You might remember me from here. Here. Or maybe even here.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
It can actually be a perfect moment to reach out to a friend and ask if they're okay if they seem down.
It doesn't matter how you say it.
You all right?
Everything's okay?
All G?
You all right, girl? You cool?
You bugging dog.
Just show you're there for them.
Go on, Kelly. Seize the awkward.
Hey, you haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Ryan McCormick. Starting off with college basketball, the SU T-Birds went out to El Paso, Texas on Tuesday to take on the UTEP Miners in the second round of the Basketball Classic. The first few minutes were back and forth, but once the T-Birds took a 19-18 lead, they never let it go. It was 40-29 heading into halftime. Both teams scored 40 in the second half, but the shared effort by the T-Birds was too much for the Miners to come back from. Nick Fleming led the way with 18 as the team had 5 different guys in double digits. 6 of the 7 players that made it into the game for the T-Birds had over 25 minutes of playtime. The guys will get to host another game this coming Saturday in the start of a Western Athletic Conference rivalry as the Portland Pilots are coming to town. Tip-off is at 4 p.m. in the America First Event Center and will be streamed on ESPN+. The winner of this game is the 4th and final team in the semifinals of the Basketball Classic. In NCAA tournament news, the men's Sweet 16 tips off in less than an hour with my pick of the Gonzaga Bulldogs taking on the Arkansas Razorbacks. And then in just over an hour, the 11-seeded Michigan Wolverines will try to continue their run versus the Villanova Wildcats. Tonight's games could be Coach K's 100th tournament win as the Blue Devils take on the Red Raiders, and Houston will look to upset Arizona and make their second straight Elite Eight. Tomorrow's games will start with Cinderella seed St. Peter's taking on the Purdue Boilermakers. Thomas's pick of Kansas is taking on Providence at 5:30, and the late games will tip off with North Carolina UCLA and the 4th ever 10-11 matchup Iowa State-Miami. Over in the women's bracket, the Sweet 16 will tip off tomorrow, starting with the 5 versus 1 Carolinas matchup and the 6 versus 2 Ohio State-Texas. Finishing up tomorrow's slate is Maryland versus the defending champion Stanford Cardinal and the first of the 10-3 matchups, Iowa State-Creighton. Saturday's games begin with Notre Dame, NC State, and UConn versus Indiana. Then we'll finish up with Tennessee-Louisville and the other 10-3 South Dakota-Michigan. The Elite Eight for the men's will be Saturday, Sunday, and the Elite Eight for the men's will be Saturday, Sunday, and the women's will be Sunday, Monday. By the time we hit Tuesday's show, we'll be at the Final Four. Moving over to SU football, spring practices begin Monday and will be going on until the spring game, April 16th. Practices are held at 4 p.m. in the Eccles Coliseum every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and at 10 a.m. on Saturdays. They are all open to eligible students. They are open to all eligible students to participate and open for the public to watch. For more updates on SU football, you can visit their social medias. In professional sports news, just days after the Las Vegas Raiders traded for Davante Adams and signed him to a contract making him the highest paid receiver in NFL history, the Kansas City Chiefs are trading wide receiver Tyreek Hill to the Miami Dolphins for a haul of draft picks, including the 29th pick in this coming draft. Miami then signed Hill to a 4-year, $120 million contract extension, making him the highest paid receiver in NFL history. March has not disappointed on the madness, as there are now 39 Pro Bowl appearances traded in this last 17 days between these 9 guys. Just as teams are spending in the NFL, teams are also spending in Major League Baseball since the lockout has ended. Over $3 billion has been given out this winter, and here you see the biggest spenders as well as the lowest. The Oakland A's have made plenty of big moves getting rid of players, as they traded stars Matt Olson and Matt Chapman, but they have yet to sign anybody this offseason. Could they be saving their cash to make a move to Vegas? That's all I've got for SU today. For SUTV Sports, I'm Ryan McCormick. We'll be back at the desk after the break.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day, I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Oh, hey, bud.
Oh.
Where are you headed?
Just gonna hang out.
It's a school night. With Gary and Todd?
Yeah?
Not sure about those two. I've been meaning to ask you. This is tougher than I thought. Is there any drinking going on in this crowd?
No.
I hope not, because alcohol can lead you to say things and do things that you really wish you hadn't. Isn't this what you're supposed to say?
I know.
So if any of your buddies ever pressure you to take a drink, just tell them you promised your dad you wouldn't. I'd do anything to keep you safe.
Okay, I will.
I hope this is working.
I promise. Love you too, Dad.
They really do hear you.
Ryan.
Yeah?
So start the conversation even before they're teenagers.
Good idea.
For tips on what to say, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Welcome back into SUTV News. Inflation rose 7.9% in February, creating the highest inflation rise in more than 40 years. Gas, groceries, and shelter prices increased the most according to the latest Consumer Price Index. The Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates as oil and gas prices continue to rise amid the Russia and Ukraine war.
Gas prices in the United States have spiked over $4 per gallon as Russia continues to invade Ukraine. According to AAA, gas prices are now averaging over $4.20 per gallon nationwide. In Utah, gas prices also average over $4.30 per gallon, while in southern Utah, prices average at almost $4.50 per gallon.
After release on March 4th, the Batman has earned over $36 million in revenue. The first rendition of Robert Pattinson's Batman highlights an early career Batman as he takes on the Riddler, along with many interactions with the Penguin and the Falcone family. Director Matt Reeves took the Batman in a different direction from other superhero movies and tied in a more comic book accurate detective Batman, resulting in a mystery movie with horror elements. The film has already been nominated for 3 Golden Trailer Awards, including Best Teaser, Best Motion and Title Graphics, and Best Sound Editing.
As the price of living and gas goes up, along with the need for workers, studies show that some jobs aren't compensating their staff for the work they do. Our reporter Christian Sanchez has more.
It's no surprise that it's becoming more costly to get around. With many companies lacking in workers, businesses are starting to fall. From delivery drivers to doctors, many companies, offices, and restaurants are asking their workers to make sacrifices without being offered any type of financial boost. After the lockdown of 2020, many companies lost a major amount of workers. The price of living also continues to rise, with housing prices going through the roof and not enough homes being built for the demand of homes needed. It's also shown that 40% of workers feel like they aren't being paid enough for the work they do. Also seen before with University Chick-fil-A only being open during certain hours.
I would say that I think there's always room for us to get more, especially dealing with people and clients with like mental disabilities and stuff. Sometimes it's a lot depending on the clients you get and what you deal with on a day-to-day basis. They can be aggressive and come at you, and you do need to physically restrain them, so that can be physically and mentally taxing, so it's hard to let go of. We did recently get raised to 16, which is nice, but I think it could always raise up some more. But I think right now we're adequate, I guess. Especially for the example of teachers, that they basically mold the future generations and they don't get paid adequately. I feel like because they're doing such a vital job for society, that they deserve to get paid for the work
problem
that they do.
Many people don't know about until they run into it is the stealing of catalytic converters. The catalytic converter is part of the exhaust system in cars that helps convert harmful chemicals into less toxic chemicals. They are stolen because many contain metals that currently have a high value. The state of Utah has seen a 585% increase in catalytic converter theft from 2018 to 2021. It is always unwanted to have a car part stolen, especially one that is important to the operation of the vehicle and pricey to fix.
A few weeks ago, I got my catalytic converter stolen, and it was really frustrating because that morning I got in my car and it was making a weird noise, and so I got really stressed that something was wrong with it. And then I took it into a shop and they were like, immediately they were like, oh, it sounds like your catalytic converter's missing.
Yeah, I worked at a shop in high school, auto shop, and cat converters, we ran into a lot of those just missing out of nowhere. We were in a little sketchy part of Salt Lake, so like it kind of makes sense.
Right.
But it was just like all of a sudden, oh hey, that's just gone.
Yeah.
So it's scary that, you know, you can just walk out one day and it's gone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cars that they're super accessible, so like you don't need to tear anything apart. You can just climb under, slice it off, and you're good to go.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's scary how easily they can be stolen.
I mean, if you weren't aware, like you could just drive around for days, weeks.
Yep.
No catalytic converter.
It's happened plenty of times, and you know, especially that's what emissions tests and smog tests check mostly, that cat converter, just to make sure it's there and doing its job. And if it doesn't, that fails you automatically. And if it's not there, that's an easy $600 to $800 just to replace that one piece.
Yeah, I definitely don't have that. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, none of us do, so watch out. Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Thomas Dianella.
And I'm Hunter Hatch. Tune in for more SUTV news on Tuesday.
We leave you tonight with more sights and sounds from Saturday's casino night.
Oh, as we could have got this money back on Blackjack, man. All right, no more bets.
Gaming site?
What do you mean?
Yeah, look, there's a bunch of different charges on here.
Do you think someone stole our credit card information?
I don't know. That site sounds familiar, though.
Yeah, isn't that the site that Billy's on all the time?
You don't think.
Billy? Stop and think before you connect. Playing online is serious business. Visit dhs.gov/stopthinkconnect for tips on how to be safe online.